Now, why? Why do they have to go after Walz this way? I'll tell you why. Because of this guy. This is this is not going real well. Also, can I just say that in this airplane, which I guess is chartered or borrowed or is Trump, shit airline number 2, the Frontier Airlines version, that they, in the overhead bins, they've had them wrapped with never surrender, which of course Trump surrendered. MAGA, I have no idea what that means, and I have no interest. And protect the vote. And they have gone through so many iterations of that shit. Yeah. So this is, Vance was stalking Harris. So this is kind of when this happened. So Vance lands in his campaign plane lands near hers, and he like walks over to her plane to like say something, like confront her, which is creepy as fuck. First of all, she's a sitting vice president. Piss off. Secondly, she's a woman. Like, don't try to muscle up on her, dickhead. Hillary Clinton regrets every single fucking day that she tried to be a gentle lady when Donald Trump was skulking around fucking behind her, right? This shit. And had she literally, there would have been, if she'd have turned around, I swear to God, to this day, if she'd have turned around and go, would you please stop breathing down my neck like a creep? If she'd have said that, game over. Right? I'm just saying. So this is J.D. Vance. He says, J.D. Vance calls out reporters, do a better job. Start attacking my opponent for me, is what he means. Here's a good idea. I got to tell you. One of the reasons why, and I don't know what he's going to say here because I haven't pre-watched this, because who the fuck would torture themselves that way? But I will say that one of the reasons why the couch joke is getting so much attention is because, and Walz's other attacks are getting so much attention on him, is because they're charming and funny and they have other information attached to them. But his bullshit, where he's trying to pretend that that he stole his ranking or some other shit, is just not flying with anybody. And there were a bunch of maggots who tried to stop him when he was running for Congress and running for the governorship, because they're Republicans and they were lining up against him because they didn't like the fact that they viewed it like they didn't like his programs and what he wanted to do. Fine, whatever. So they tried to swift boat him. They built a swift boating organization. They went after him. It didn't work. It's not going to work this time. It didn't work. It did not work. Yeah. Kamala's in Detroit right now. Oh, yeah. They were in Wisconsin this morning. They're fucking killing it. They're everywhere.
Construction of the border wall, and she stopped the Remain in Mexico policy that had kept a lot of Americans safe. Now,
also, no, she didn't. By ending the pandemic, officially, Title 42 came to a close. And with it, the Remain in Mexico policy. The only way you get back Remain in Mexico is if you institute a medical emergency about contagious disease crossing the border and carry it out. That's it. If you want to go back to lockdowns, fucking say so.
Today we're going to talk to a lot of Americans who have suffered and had children and loved ones who have died because of these border policies. It has led to record fentanyl overdoses in our country. It's led to a lot of migrant crime from people who shouldn't even be here. And
also, real quick, the fentanyl thing, we started to during lockdown, during 2020. That's where the number in the year of policy, which would be April to April, that's when we first crossed the 100,000 threshold of people dying of fentanyl in the United States. It was constantly going up under Trump because fentanyl effectively entered the drug stream in the last year of Obama on a very low level and continued to grow up. Over the time, from then until now, 93% of the fentanyl that enters the country is brought in by citizens in their baggage or in their cars or in their trucks. It is Americans driving trucks into Mexico and coming back with fentanyl in the fucking wheel well or fucking in a suitcase or whatever the fuck, okay? 93% of it. Almost none of it is from migrants. And here's the thing, if this is the line of migrants coming into the country, and this is how much fentanyl is coming into the country, and then the number of migrants goes up this much, but the fentanyl doesn't, stays the same, it means that migrants are statistically far less likely to be even involved in it. Because it should tick up, even if it's marginal, it should tick up with it a little, right? It should come up a third or a fifth at least. It doesn't. Because they're not the ones doing it. Citizens are.
It's, of course, driven up the price of housing for a lot of Americans who shouldn't have to compete with 20 million illegal aliens for scarce.
Okay, no. Undocumented immigrants are not buying houses out from under Americans. They're not driving up the cost of houses. You might make a case in certain areas for apartments, but I got news for you. If all the apartments in an area are taken up with undocumented immigrants, or the areas awash in them, here's a good idea. Go after the people renting the apartments for filing false paperwork to fill their apartments with people who pay them cash under the table. Oh, wait. Then you'd have to go after the people who have investment properties like Joe Rogan all over the fucking country who just want them full. I see. Right. I could say, no, I get it. I get it. I know now, I thought, to me, I was like, you might want to look at that. And then I realized you probably don't.
Homes. Obviously, the big news of the day is that Tim Walz has been nominated as the VP, or is now the presumptive nominee, I should say, for Kamala Harris. My view on it is it just highlights how radical Kamala Harris is. This is a person who...
Yes, the Minnesota governor. You do realize the California governor was first on people's lips in talking about a potential replacement if the entire ticket got switched. But Minnesota is radical.
Listen to the Hamas wing of our own party and selecting a nominee. This is
the Hamas wing. Hey, all right. Okay, that's probably, here's what they were hoping that Shapiro would shave off some votes because people aren't ready for a Jewish president, and they were hoping that effectively what happened to Al Gore they could use against people, against her this time around. That's what it was. They're like, hey, pick a Jew, because we know there's a certain level of people that just fucking won't vote for a Jew, and whether it's, Republicans that are on the fence, they'll definitely come over and vote for us because no fucking way. And then there might be the squad voters in the Democratic Party that just hate him for being Jewish, and that'll shave off some votes. They were hoping that's what they could use. And they can't, and so obviously they're pissed.
This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China.
No, he hasn't. By the way, having peaceful relations with China. This is coming from a guy who's running with the dude who wants to have like friendly relations with Kim Jong-un and Vladimir fucking Putin and Xi Jinping. Does that mean he wants to ship jobs off not just to China, but also to North Korea and Russia?
Who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy.
Wait a minute, you can make energy from garbage? We're rich! Forget about it! Everybody, quick, get to your storage facility. We're gonna... Did somebody invent the Mr. Fusion? The thing in Back to the Future? We can run garbage energy? Yeah! Oh, it's just... I thought he meant we could make energy out of... Oh, shit. Oh, it's because it's... I see. Wouldn't it be the oil be the garbage if you're looking at stuff that's dirty or... I don't know, anyway.
And has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does.
No, he hasn't.
I think it's interesting, actually. They
also having budgeting for healthcare professionals or something to go along on with the police, not ahead of the police or whatever, which is fucking bananas to people who are having mental health crisis. Not a bad thing.
They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis.
Oh my God. Hashtag rip Minneapolis. We've lost. It's so sad. It's not even there. I thought it was, did that just happen? Because I was just there and it looks lovely. It was very lively, a lot of nightlife going on. It was exciting. And no, I thought for sure, shit. Minneapolis is gone, just gone. Well, I would love to visit Minneapolis Crater sometime. I hope Paisley Park is still intact.
In the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught.
Wait, when? Summer of 2020. So who's president then? Fuck, I can't remember. Who's president in 2020? I wrote it down somewhere.
Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. So it is more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans who have been made to suffer under those policies.
Well, gosh, I mean, if she doesn't care about them and yet she's doing better than your guy, I'd say she should be more carefree about a lot of shit. Also, if this is a win for you guys and it's going to be an easy job, campaigning against him, why are you so mad? Why are you so fucking mad? Because you seem a bit fucking mad. Is it just me? Like he seems not just like I'm serious about this, but kind of like he missed his nap pissed. You know what I mean? Or like he was putting on his guy liner and he poked his eyeball. I've done it. It's not pretty. It's not fun.
Take a couple questions, then we're going to hit the road and go to this press conference. Yeah.
It would show that it's anti-Semitism. The reason why you believe Kamala Harris didn't choose Josh Shapiro, you still look at that.
Well, it's not what I believe. It's what the Democratic leadership has said. Many people said repeatedly that the reason Kamala Harris was going away from the Josh Shapiro selection is because they were worried about anti-Semitism. They were worried about certain voters. They were
Who?
worried about some of the...
Sorry. A lot of the Democratic leaders said this? Who?
The leaders and the grassroots activists in their party wouldn't take...
Oh, I see. The leader... You mean the leaders and the grassroots... So, people who are speculating on why she would pick somebody and why she wouldn't pick people, not the people in charge, but the people talking about what the choice might be, brought it up. Is that what you're saying? When you guys were rubbing your hands together and hoping?
A Jewish nominee. I think it's despicable. I think it's disgusting, but that is right out of the words of many members of the Democratic leadership. And so now we have Tim Walz, but again, most importantly, we have Kamala Harris. Her policies have been a disaster, and they will remain so if the American people give her promotion.
Senator, there.
Give her promotion.
Sir,
Yeah.
have you or Governor Walz reached out to one another? I know when you were just you're going to be. You guys have reached out. You guys.
I actually, on the way to the flight in Cincinnati, I guess in northern Kentucky, I actually called Tim Walz. I left a voicemail. I didn't get him, but I just said, look,
Well, I'm sure he was listening. I mean, I bet they were both leaning over the machine.
look, congratulations. Look forward to a robust conversation and enjoy the ride. And maybe he'll call me back. Maybe he won't. Yeah.
Senator, excuse me.
Yeah.
The governor and Vice President Harris are expected.
Also, that potential spam stuff that you get sometimes, and I don't blame Walz for picking it up because it might say potential Nazi. I'm kidding. Relax.
To take a battleground state tour the next couple of days.
Sure.
Former President Trump won't be making a public campaign appearance until Friday in Montana. Is that a missed opportunity?
No, look, I think I'm making a number of public appearances over the next
You think?
few days just to drive home the fact that Kamala Harris's policy have been such a failure for normal.
I see. And so what he's asking is, I don't know if you heard the question, but he goes, Trump's not making an appearance until Friday, and he's not off the campaign trail all week while you're out doing stuff. Do you think that's a missed opportunity while the two of them are barnstorming around? And he's like, no, I think I'm making several appearances, whatever. It also sounds like Trump's either scared or they're, brainstorming nicknames because he's just trying too fucking hard. Or maybe if they figure if his family builds a circle around him and starts yelling weird anecdotes at him, he'll forget the shark and the electrocution story because his head will be full of stuff like, I just found out Abraham Lincoln's a Republican. Most people don't know that.
Americans, I know the president's very busy over the next few days.
Yes, he is. Joe Biden is very busy over the next few days. Trump is not busy. He's got fundraisers, but but that's a fundraiser for his own legal bills.
One of the things you've got to do is, of course, get out there and speak to people and speak to.
Oh, Max, I know it's the camera. Sorry, it's just the color's off. There's nothing I can do about it.
Reporters. A final thing that you have to do, of course, is raise the resources, and I know the president's very busy doing exactly that. So he and I are taking a divide and conquer strategy to this campaign. Sometimes we obviously do events together, but I think we're going to use the fact that we have two people who can both get out there and.
Then why aren't both people getting out there? Stupid. That's the point. That's exactly what he was saying. That's the point he was trying to make, was like, you're going out, he's not going out. Why aren't you both going out? And he was like, I think we can both go out there and prosecute this case. Well, then, yeah, you are. Where's the fucking other guy?
Prosecute a message. We're going to hit the road, but I really want to make just one final observation. I know most of you. I like all of you as people, or at least I like the ones of you that I know. I think that you guys.
And I make a point not to like anybody I don't know.
Guys have got to do a better job at actually forcing Kamala Harris to answer questions. This is a
Thanks.
person who's been the presumptive Democrat nominee for 16 days. She hasn't taken a single real question from a reporter. The American people deserve to get to know the people who want to lead them, and I think it's shameful for Kamala Harris, but increasingly for the media, that she's taking a basement strategy of running from reporters.
She's literally doing rallies. She's literally giving speeches, and Trump is nowhere to be seen. He's not even doing interviews. He's just hiding.
Instead of getting in front of them, answering tough questions about her record, and letting the American people know who she is. President Trump and I take hostile questions. We take non-hostile questions. We get.
No, you don't. You don't take hostile questions. You bitch about the question. Taking a hostile question means answering the fucking question whether you like it or not.
Get out there and talk to people because we respect the American people enough to want to persuade them and not to try to run from them. So I think you guys got to do a better job. That's my humble opinion. Take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Take it easy, guys. I'm going to go back behind the curtain and pretend that we're not both parked in the same part of the parking lot, which is awkward, but still, what are you going to do? Hold on one second. Oh, I just pushed this button. This will do it. Hi, there you go. Much better. What an asshole. But I gotta say, he looks wonderfully miserable, I'd like to say. This for the record.